What's up? This is Dilio coming back to you another again on this broadcast. We're going to talk about the MPC 3.6 software on the desktop, and we're going to talk about how you can set up your own templates so that you can get faster results in your music production. If you're producing a lot of music and you're cranking a lot of tracks out, templates help you sort of alleviate some of the extra steps that make it so you have to keep doing them over and over again. If you know you're going to use soft clipper in your beats, why not have a template with it in there? If you know you're going to use certain drum sounds over and over again, why not have them already in there so that you can work faster? All right, so right now I have a blank session right now. And one of the things I like to use is I like to use soft clipper. So I'm going to add soft clipper like that. And I'm going to disable it because I don't necessarily like to hear it while I'm creating music. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some drum sounds over here from the side. So let's start with some claps. Yeah, that's good right there. So maybe a clap on the kit. And you got to be careful if you're like working around different things, because sometimes you could be on the wrong bank if you're not paying attention. So I'm going to bring that clap sample, going to put it like right there. And let's see, let's get a hi-hat, bring that in there right there. You know, just like that. Just a couple. And then you can kind of mix them to where you like them. Sometimes I normally like to have the hats hot in the mix, but sometimes they can be a little cracking right there. Also, let's go ahead and add maybe like a kick. And let's go back to the main, bring the kit right. Okay, so I got that in there. So let's maybe add a piano track. So I'll go to plugin, fabric, and let's maybe add just a good general basic piano, like let's try fabric piano, right? Let's bring that in there. We got that in there. We see that's there. All right, we got grand too. All right, so that's sounding pretty good right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this as a template. We know that we got piano on track 2. We know we got drums on track 1. All right, so now I'm going to save this as a template. You go to the bars at the top left of the screen, save project as, and then you have save as template. So I'll call this Oct template, Oct 25 temp, right? And I'll hit save. Okay. So now that template is saved. Now, when I go back to the beginning and let's say I close out the software completely. So right now what I'm doing is I'm closing down the software completely like that. I didn't save anything. I did that. Now I'm starting the MPC software up again. Just give it a couple seconds to start up. And I'm going to load up my template instead of starting from scratch. And now when you start up your software, you have these options right here. If I go to the screen again, you got these options right here. Okay. And I'll click user template on the hardware itself, not on the screen. You might see it there, but I'm going to hit user template. When I hit user template, now I got all my sounds coming on right there. And you can even go further with this by going into the options. And what you can do in the options is tell it to start up and load the user template right there. Okay. So now when MPC starts up, I work with some of this stuff. When MPC starts up, it will do that. So I'm going to go to I'm going to start it up over again. I'm going to close out the MPC software. I know my template is tight. I'm going to go show you the screen in a second as the software starts up. When the software starts up, I'll show you. And I just got to give it a sec. All right, it's here. And it should be doing that new template. I didn't know if it's doing it right now, but I think you get the idea. I'll hit user template again on my hardware because I know that's set up. So that's the tutorial right there. Thank you for watching this broadcast. I didn't get it to auto load, but you supposedly can do that. I'm sure you can take this information, working on your own, and get it to work the way you want it to work. You're watching Dilio T2K channel? Subscribe.